Here we go. Second round game in San Diego. Kansas versus St. John's. Lawrence, Kansas going up against New York for the Sweet 16. Trey White, Melvin Council, Flory Budinga, Bryson Tiller, Darren Peterson starting five for Kansas. Bryce Hopkins, Zuby Ejiofor, Dylan Darling, Dylan Mitchell, and Ozzie Sellers, the starting five for St. John's. We're about ready to tip it up here. March Madness. Can it get any better? Tip up. Game underway. St. John's controls. It's Darling with the basketball. He crosses midcourt. Guarded by Council. Throws to Sellers. Now back to Hopkins. Hopkins, top of the key, throws down inside to Sellers. Sellers, post-up move. Throws back to Hopkins for three from the wing. Good for St. John's. And they take the lead 3-0 early on. First half in San Diego, 19:30 left to go. Council controls to Budunga, top of the key to Peterson on a handoff. Peterson drives, floater is no good, off the rim. Darling controls St. John's, crosses half court, has numbers, now throws it back out, and it's going to be backcourt. And it's going to be Kansas basketball. We're going to have to see what the call is. Could possibly still be St. John's ball. 19:15 left to go first half. It is Kansas basketball on the turnover by St. John's. Kansas on the inbound. They get it to Council. Good pressure by St. John's. It's a screen from Budunga. Now top of the key. Back out to Trey White. To Peterson, the superstar. One-on-one guarded by St. John's. Now Trey White gets the dribble handoff to Peterson. Three from the wing is good! Superstar bangs it home, ties it up at three. DP's first shot is good. Kansas the 4 seed, St. John's the 5 seed. Here's Sellers now top of the key. They play off of him, guarded by Budunga. Here's Hopkins now guarded by White. Hands it off to Darling, guarded by DP. He takes DP off the drive. Now gives it. Layup is no good for St. John's. Mitchell misses. Now Council drives, stolen away by Darling. St. John's with numbers. It's Seller, and he can't control. Now he gets it back to a St. John's player. He misses the layup. Sellers. Kansas controls, still tied at three. Here's Peterson. Good! Bangs home a three from the wing. DP can't miss early on. Superstar taking over early. 18 minutes left to go in this first half. Mitchell for three, no good, back iron. Kansas with the rebound, it's Peterson. He crosses half court. Peterson picks up his dribble, looking to pass. Almost stolen away by St. John's, it's Budinga. In the paint, floater, no good. St. John's with the rebound. Still 6-3 Kansas. Mitchell controls. Now three for St. John's, good. And they tie it up at 6. It's Hopkins. Hand down, man down, and now Trey White controls for Kansas. To Council. Takes the St. John's player, Darling, off the dribble. Now Trey White, and they whistle it dead. It's going to be a turnover on Kansas. 17-17 left to go in this first half. Tied up at 6. Couple threes from Darren Peterson. Kansas leaves Hopkins open, and he makes him pay. Kansas 2 for 2 from three early on. St. John's 2 of 3. Here's Ejiofor. The St. John's 3 for the wing is good. 9-6 St. John's lead. Trey White with the inbound. Full court press from Darling of St. John's. Now backs off. Council crosses midcourt. Kansas trying to set up their play. Trey White comes around Council. Now White guarded one-on-one by St. John's. Now Council comes off a screen. 8 on the shot clock. Council step back from 9 feet away. No good. Off front iron. Darling now controls for St. John's. To Ejiofor in the post, working on Budunga. Ejiofor, post moves, floater, blocked by Budunga. Trey White controls for Kansas. Crosses half court to Council. Peterson looking for stolen from St. John's. Showtime. Layup is good. St. John's takes an 11-6 lead. Bill Self thinking about a timeout. He's going to let him play on. Peterson crossover. Behind the back. Gets rid of it. Double team. Not a Council. He takes St. John's off the dribble. Blocked! And it's going to be out of bounds. Still Kansas basketball. Incredible defense by St. John's early on. Mitchell with the block. Couple threes from St. John's. Hopkins and Sellers. Now a steal by St. John's. Mitchell gets the easy bucket. St. John's with an 11-6 lead. 16 minutes left to go in this first half. Just from what I'm noticing early on, Kansas is having a tough time getting the ball inside the paint. I mean, just St. John's defense right now is overwhelming them. Really, their only shot has been Darren Peterson off the dribble. Still, a couple of those shots have been tough, but both teams are really good defensively. From what I read about St. John's, they're 11th in the nation in defense, and Kansas is like top 5. Still getting these names right. Actually wrote down every single player's name and number that'll probably be playing in this game. Give me 10 minutes. I'll get these guys' names right. Like, I thought Ejiofor was their point guard. He's their center. That's how much college basketball that I've watched this year. My first actual college basketball game that I'll be calling a play-by-play, actually trying to do one. But, yeah, I haven't seen much college basketball all year. I used to watch it all the time. During the NFL offseason, but just stopped watching recently. I didn't even watch Kansas's last championship game that they won in 2022. But I was big into it when they beat Memphis with Mario Chalmers and that team. Derrick Rose, John Calipari. When I was a kid, when they had Kirk Heinrich and Simeon and Langford. Yeah, that was when I was more into Kansas. But I always try to watch their March Madness games. Check them out in the tournament. So we got St. John's with an 11-6 lead. Second round in San Diego. 16 minutes left to play in this first half. It's going to be Kansas basketball after a layup by St. John's. Again, Kansas' only offense early on in this first half has been a couple Darren Peterson threes. Inbound pass to Budunga, stolen away by St. John's. They got numbers. Ejiofor holds back. Who the hell is that guy? Is that Sellers? Sellers into Ejiofor. Now back to Darling. Top of the key. Gets a screen from Sellers. Darling pulls up. Nope. Thinks other of it. Now back out to Hopkins to Darling. Top of the key. 3-ball. Air ball. No good. Goes out of bounds. It's going to be Kansas basketball. Darling with the wide open jumper, the lefty. Inbound pass to Budunga. To Council. He's got to get going. Couple block shots. Council crosses midcourt, gets a halfway screen from Trey White, and they whistle it dead. Looks like we got a foul off the ball on Peterson. 15:07 left to play in this first half. St. John's up 11-6. It's going to be an inbound pass behind the basket for Kansas. Can't get it in, and it's tipped out of bounds by Hopkins. St. John's, devastating defense. There's just nothing you can do. Kansas still having trouble getting the ball in. And this time it's kicked out of bounds by St. John. Just the length from them. Whatever happened to the Kansas lob plays? We used to have the lobs out of the inbound. Now they get it into Trey White finally. Council comes off a screen. He's got a top of the key. Trey White, it's a screen for him. Here's Peterson. Wing 3 is no good this time. St. John controls up 5. Here's Sellers now at the wing to Hopkins. Top of the 3. Key 3 is no good. And looks like we got a loose ball foul on Kansas on the rebound. It's going to still stay St. John's basketball. Inbound pass to Hopkins. Actually, that's Ejiofor now to Hopkins. At the wing, stolen away by Kansas. Oh, and they're going to say a kick ball on Kansas. It's going to still stay St. John's basketball. And Bill Self is livid. Yeah, it looks like he got hit in the face. They didn't call it. Should have been a reach-in foul on Kansas. We got 14:38 left to go first half. Kansas down 11-6. But it's been the St. John's defense that's been the story early on. Kansas having a tough time inbounding the basketball. Can't score in the paint against them. Back out now to Jackson. Wing 3 is no good. Rebound, St. John's, it's Sellers. My God, they're controlling the basketball. Here's Jackson now at the wing. Now hits it to Hopkins. Guarded by Peterson, and it's kicked away by Peterson. Still going to be St. John's basketball. 20 on the shot clock. 14:22 left to go in this first half. St. John's up 11-6. Here's Sellers now, top of the key. Jackson comes off a screen. He misses front iron. Now St. John's rebound. 3 is good. They take a 14-6 lead. Bill Self thinking about a timeout, thinking about some substitutions early on in this first half, and they can't get the ball in. They got to call a timeout. Bill Self is livid at Peterson for not coming back to the basketball. Kansas getting smacked around early, 14-6 against St. John's. They just can't do anything right now. Just great defense by St. John's. Then on offense, St. John's is moving the basketball. I feel like Kansas can't make 3 passes in a possession without it getting stolen away or turning the basketball over. Something's got to change because we got to be able to match their size. They're getting way too many offensive rebounds. Council laying it at point guard. This moment might be a little too big for him. Put Peterson, and I want Peterson handling the rock every single possession. We're going to need that offense, Bill. He's got Peterson playing off the ball right now, and I don't know if he's done that all year. He might has, but something's got to change. I mean, this is win or go home. This guy's supposed to be the number 1 pick in the draft. Ball better not be out of his hands. Okay, we got Ian Jackson. Ejiofor is off the court right now. Here's Council now bringing the ball up. Still got the ball in his hands. Pass to Peterson, top of the key. They double him right away. He's got to get rid of it. Back out to Tiller, to Council. Tries to drive, good defense. Floater is no good. Actually, it was a lob to Mimbaya. Looked like a air ball, but it was actually a lob. Perfect lob. Almost dunked it right on a St. John's player. It's going to be a foul and 2 free throws for Mimbaya. St. John's up 14-6 early on. First free throw from Mbaya is good. 14-7, 13:41 left to go in this first half. Kansas trying to match this size with Mbaya. Second free throw is no good. Front iron. St. John's with the rebound. They control. Here's Jackson now. He drives, tries to jam it home, and it's blocked away, but he's fouled. Showtime from Jackson. He was ready to jam that home on a couple Kansas players right there, and Mbaya, one of them. The hesitation, goes up with the left hand. My goodness. Dylan Mitchell, averaging 8.2 this season, 55% shooting. First free throw is no good. Still 14-7 Kansas, or St. John's with the lead. Second free throw is no good. White with the rebound. Now to Jackson. Marco Jackson just substituted in. Top of the key to Peterson. He's got 2 threes already. Takes St. John's off their dribble. Layup is no good. Front iron. Peterson misses. He was looking for the foul. Didn't get it. Here's Hopkins. Don't want to leave this guy open. Crossover. Goes to the rack. Poked away by Kansas. Stolen. Kansas controls down 7. 12:58 left to go first half. Jackson to Peterson. Back to White. Pull up 3 from the wing. No good. Front iron. St. John's controls. It's Jackson. He's flying. Back out to Jackson for 3. No good. Out of bounds. Whose ball is going to be? Kansas. They're going to control. St. John's with a lot of wide open shots. And I feel like every Kansas shot is contested. Here we go, full court press from St. John's. Oh, no, it's off Jackson's leg. Turnover, Kansas. That's where you got to make a sub right there, Bill. Got to get somebody else in. Mistake like that in a big game like this, it's off his knees, not ready to go. Get him out of there. Marco Jackson substituted out. He goes into the Bill Self doghouse for that one. Fuck, man. St. John's 4 of 10 from the 3. And about 8 of those have been wide open. Here's Hopkins. He drives. Strong move. Floater is good. 16-7. St. John's with a 9-point lead. Now Peterson controls. Desperation for Kansas. Gets a screen from Mbaya. Crossover. Peterson to the rack. No good, but he's fouled. You see the talent off the dribble, but you got to finish. Darren Peterson, 28 points versus Cal Baptist, 11 of 24 from the floor. Made his first 2 threes early on in this one. Now his first 2 free throws. First one is no good, back iron. Still 16-7. St. John's with a 9-point lead, 12-19 left to go first half. Peterson, 20 points per game, most by a freshman in Kansas history. Second free throw is good. St. John's now with an 8-point lead. Here's Jackson to Prey. Back to Ejiofor coming back on the floor. Here's Ian Jackson to Ejiofor, top of the key. Back to Dylan Mitchell. Jumper from 9 feet away, air ball, controlled by Kansas. Elmarko Jackson, showtime, and he misses the dunk. Bill, we gotta get him out of the game. Bill, what's he doing in the game, Bill? Wing 3 from St. John's with the miss. Kansas catches the break there. Wow, here's Council, he drives. Back to Elmarko Jackson. A turnover and a missed dunk. Back to Council. Drives, floater, no good. And Mbaya trying to get the loose ball. He does. Controls for Kansas. 5 on the shot clock. Council, fadeaway, no good. St. John's with the rebound, suffocating defense all game. From St. John's. Here's Mitchell, drives. Dupre, falls down, traveled, no call. Around the horn, St. John's corner 3 is no good. Prake with the rebound. Man, offensive rebounds all day. Mitchell 3, no good. Jackson with the rebound. Mitchell now drives. Floater, no good. So some ugly basketball from St. John's in that possession. Now Council had the wide open shot, didn't take it. Now throws in down low to a Kansas player in the post. Fadeaway jumper, no good. Rebounded. St. John's still up 8, 16-8. Here's Mitchell. Layup, no good. Elmarko Jackson, can he make this one? And he does. Kansas now makes it a 6-point game. Here's Mitchell to Jackson. Top of the key 3 to Mitchell. He drives. Back to Mitchell. Here's an Ejiofor. Wing 3 is no good. Elmarko Jackson with the rebound for Kansas. He crosses midcourt. Jackson now takes St. John's off the dribble. Tiller now. Post up on prey of St. John's. Tiller. Spin move. Layup. No good. Out of control. Ejiofor rebounds for St. John's. Kansas has had their chances. St. John's still up 16-10. 9:23 left to go first half. Prey now to Jackson. Back to Mitchell. To Prey by the free throw line. To Mitchell. They're playing zone. Mitchell, air ball 3. Let him shoot that all day. Here's Council now. Drives. Kansas. Layup. Good! Gets the roll. Somehow Kansas has made this a 4-point game. 16-12. And St. John's needs a 20. Rick Pitino all over Jackson for that last possession. It was good defense, just better off from Council on the layup. Well, I mean, a positive sign right there, but I don't know how we're going to get around their defense this game. They just have missed some open jumpers. I think I'm getting these names down without having to look at my cheat sheet. 15 Tiller. I'm getting Mitchell and Jackson mixed up. Yeah, Mitchell's the lefty. Jackson is 11. Kansas 4 of 16. St. John's 6 of 23, but they missed a bunch of open shots too. Good defense by both teams as well. Here's Darling with the inbound, guarded by Jackson to Mitchell on the handoff to Sellers. Here's Ejiofor now. Wing 3. They play off of him. Here's Sellers now, guarded tightly by Jackson. Mitchell off the dribble. Spin move. Floater. No good. Rebound Kansas. Budunga. Marco Jackson controls in the half court. Now to Council. Guarded by Darling. Kansas setting up a play. Peterson trying to get open. They get him the ball. Here's DP, the superstar, guarded by Ejiofor. They double him, looking to pass out to Council. Top of the key. Guarded tightly by Mitchell. Crossover. Council. Gets it to Budunga. Top of the key is good. Budunga with the shot. Kansas now down 2, 16-14. 7:56 left to go first quarter. Here's Darling, step back to Mitchell. Now to Ejiofor in the post. They double him back to Mitchell. Corner 3, guarded by Budunga. Takes him off the dribble. Backs it out. Now to Ejiofor from the free throw line. Jumper is no good. Rebound Peterson to Omarco Jackson. Jackson off the dribble and they call a foul. And they're going to go to another commercial here. I don't know why, but we got a foul off the ball. It's still going to be Kansas basketball. Big jumper by Budunga. They play off of him. Kansas down 16-14 with the possession. Credit to Bill Self for sticking with Jackson after those that missed dunk and that turnover. I thought he would take him out. Must be a key player for him. We've only seen Peterson bring the ball up one time. It's been Council most of the time. He hasn't looked great. Trey White, he got taken out of the game early on. I wonder if he'll bring back Trey White in. I think St. John's is good with the players they have on the floor. Maybe Darling should come out and they put Jackson back in. He's a little bit of a better option. One thing's for sure, we got to play off Mitchell. He's going to go to his left and try to score in the paint. We got to play him and force him to shoot that three. So Peterson was 7 points, 2 of 5 from the floor, but just 2 threes early on and 1 free throw. Hopkins, 2 threes from him. Like I said, the shooting has been poor from both teams, but St. John's has had the better chances in this game. It's because of their defense. St. John's has missed their last 10 shots. Kansas on a 7-0 run the last 4 minutes, 50 seconds. Kansas basketball inbound to DP, the superstar. Put a bigger player on him, Jackson. He's about 6'8". Now to Council with the dribble handoff to Jackson. Elmarco Jackson off the dribble. Step back jumper, Jackson, bang! Ties this basketball game up 16. Elmarco Jackson with some holy water. Here's Darling. Wing 3 to Sellers. Back out to Jackson. Here's Ejiofor to Darling. St. John's moving the basketball. Gets a screen from Ejiofor. Double team on Darling. Mitchell wide open from the wing is good. Gets the roll. And a foul on Kansas. Shot's going to count. It's going to be 19-16 St. John's. And I believe they're still going to have possession or one free throw. Looks like we got a foul, possibly, under the rim. Yeah, Budunga actually gets the arm around Ejiofor's neck. So St. John's is going to get another possession here. 3 from the wing, no good. Ejiofor with the offensive rebound all night for St. John's. Mitchell thinks wisely of a 3 right there. Could have taken it. Ejiofor pump fake on a 3. Darling 3 ball, no good. Kansas controls it. Mbaya with the rebound. To Council, he crosses midcourt. Kansas now down 3. Council off the dribble. Mbaya now controls. Peterson gets a screen from Mbaya. Takes Darling off the dribble. Council 3 ball corner, no good. Kansas offensive board and good and 1 from Mbaya. Trying to tie this game up at 19, a low scoring first half for Kansas and St. John's. Kansas has to try to match up this height for St. John's. Mbaya is strong enough to stay with Ejiofor. I don't think Budunga is. Free throw from Mbaya is no good. Kansas still down 1. Here's Darling now to Mitchell. He tries to drive, backs out to Ejiofor. Blocked! Is it going to count? Budunga skies high and gets that one. Looked like Mutombo. Wags the finger. Not sure what the call is. Still 19-18. They're talking to Bill Self. Oh, it's a foul. Wow. Come on. Ejiofor's free throw is good. 20-18. St. John's with a 2-point lead. That's terrible, man. That's terrible. He might have got him right at the end on the arm, but second free throw is good for Ejiofor. 21-18. 6 minutes left to go in this first half. Now St. John's back to that forward press, and they can't get it in. Turnover, Kansas. Fuck! Now Marco Jackson turns it over. Throw it over his head. Why are we throwing it to the side where there's out of bounds? Throw it over his head. Here's Darling, top of the key, 3 ball. No good. Ejiofor, offensive board and slams it home. St. John's up 23-18. Ejiofor, offensive boards all first half. Kansas still can't get it in. And Jackson almost turns it over. Gets it to Peterson. They double team him. Suffocating defense from St. John's. Budunga in the post. Runner is good. 23-20. Kansas down 3. Here's Darling. To Jackson. Picks up his dribble. To Ejiofor. Handoff Darling. Wide open 3. Now he drives back to Ejiofor. He doubles him. To Mitchell. Wing 3 is no good. Kansas almost turns it over again. They got the rebound, but almost fell out of bounds. Peterson controls. Kansas down 3. Superstars got to take over. No, and it's stolen away, but he got bailed out with the reach in. I thought St. John's got all ball right there. It would have been a breakaway for St. John's, an easy bucket. Kansas has 2 fouls on both their big men. Damn. Peterson coming off a screen. They can't get it to him. Budunga now drives. Floater is no good. He can't finish. Man, he was wide open. Kansas throws it away. It's going to be backcourt violation. Another turnover on Kansas. Can't get the ball in bounds on him. .448 left to go, first quarter. Somehow, Kansas is only down 3 in this game. Kansas only has 10 turnovers all season a game. They have 7 in this first half. Tries to get it in, and it's batted away by Kansas. I want to look at that again. Could be off a St. John's player right there. Hopkins now to inbound. Here's Ejiofor, top of the key 3. Hands off to Jackson. Mitchell drives, and it's thrown away by St. John's. It's going to be backcourt on them. Turnover. Let's go. Come on. I feel like both teams can't take advantage of the other team's mistakes right now. Here's McDowell now in the game for Kansas. To Melvin Council. He crosses half court. Gets a screen from Budinga. He drives, throws it up. Tiller can't finish. That was a terrible lob from Kansas. It hit off the front of the rim, bounced down. Tiller controls. Couldn't finish. Wow. I don't understand why Peterson doesn't have this basketball in his hands. Inbound pass to Jackson. Mitchell crosses half court. To Ejiofor, top of the key. Throws it down low. Turnover on St. John's. Another one. Both these teams struggling right now. Kansas got a hit it inbounds to Budunga. Comes back to the basketball. Now McDowell. Crosses half court. Let's see what we can get from him. Council now. Goes off the dribble, guarded by Jackson. To DP. Passes out of it to Tiller. Now to McDowell. Gets a screen from Tiller. To Peterson. 5 on the clock. Come on, Showtime. Got to get going. Peterson. Passes out of it to Council. Wing 3, no good. Not sure why Peterson didn't shoot it right there. Here's St. John's drive to the rack, no good. Kansas with great defense in the paint. Peterson controls as he crosses half court. Guarded by Jackson. Crossover. Step back. Jumper. No good. Front iron. St. John's controls. Peterson, after 2 threes early on, has gone cold. Here's an Ejiofor. Spin move in the paint. No good. Blocked away by Tiller. Floater is good by Mitchell. Second chance opportunity for St. John's makes it a 5-point game. 25-20. St. John's up 5. 3 minutes left to go in this first half. And Council with the drive to the rack. Easiest basket of this first half for Kansas. Makes it a 3-point game. Ejiofor controls. Crosses half court. Back to Ejiofor. Guarded by Budunga. They play off of him to Mitchell. Blocked! Peterson! Showtime! And it's stolen away, poked away by Mitchell. Great defense by him. And Peterson goes down, holding that left knee. I think he's going to be all right. It was a breakaway opportunity for Kansas. And Mitchell poked it away from Peterson. Great defense, though, by Peterson. Maybe that defensive play just made can get him going, but so far in this first half, I mean, Peterson doesn't even look like a first-round pick. He looks like a second-round pick. This guy's supposed to be the number 1 overall pick in next year's draft. At some point, you're just waiting for him to take over. He had the opportunity. The shot clock was winding down on a couple possessions ago, and then he passes it to Council with like 2 on the shot clock. Council's thinking he's going to fade away and try to create something, and he passes out of it like he's not ready for this moment or something. That's a bad sign. If I'm an NBA team and I possibly have a draft pick, high draft pick, I'm not liking that. Really, for me, it's St. John's defense right now, but they can't shoot the ball or they would be up 10 or more. It's their defense and offensive rebounding that would win St. John's this game. But if they continue to shoot this poorly, it gives Kansas a chance. For sure, in this first half, St. John's is the better team. Second free throw from Peterson is good, so it makes it a 1-point game, 25-24. 2:25 left to go in this first half. Sellers brings it up to Prey. Now to Mitchell, or to Hopkins. Edge of 4 with the screen. Now gets the ball, top of the key. Back out to Prey. Wing 3 is good for St. John's. 28-24. The Red Storm with a 4-point lead. Kansas gets it in. Council almost falls down. He crosses half court. It's been a chore all first half for Kansas, just getting the ball in bounds. They double Council. Back to Trey White. Guarded by Hopkins. Crossover to Peterson in the corner. Guarded tightly. Almost throws it away. And it's going to be turnover on Kansas. Wow, backcourt again. Peterson does throw it away. White tried to tip it back to himself before it went in the backcourt. But he stepped. Yeah, he stepped over the line right there. It's going to be a backcourt violation for Kansas. Now 8 turnovers in this first half. Remember, 10 all year, averaging a game. Hopkins now controls for St. John's. Top of the key now, 3 balls, St. John's. Good! 31-24. They take a 7-point lead, and Bill Self needs time to think about it. 1:18 left to go in this first half. There it is. I mean, just continuing to play, great defense, but now shooting the ball well. And Ejiofor is in there. You're going to constantly get offensive rebounding opportunities. And Kansas has to play 2 of their big guys in foul trouble, Budinga and Baya. They can't be on the floor without them because St. John's would just control the rebounding. But still, this one's on Peterson. He's got to find a way to get it going. And finally, St. John's is taking advantage of Kansas' mistakes. Now they got to get the ball in bounds. Trey White gets it to Council. Guarded tightly by Sanon. Goes around the screen from Mbaya. Dribble drive is good for Council. 31-26. Kansas down 5. 1 minute left to go in this first half. Ejiofor. Post move. Layup. No good. Prey tips it in. But I think there's going to be a foul before the tip. So 2 free throws for Ejiofor. Unstoppable in the post. Jab step. First move just too quick for Mbaya. Can't guard him. Three fouls for the Kansas big man. First free throw from Ejiofor is good. 32-26. St. John's up 6. 55 seconds left to go in this first half. Zuby Ejiofor. 7 points, 7 rebounds in this first half. Second free throw is good. 33-26. Kansas trying to inbound this basketball. Now they throw it over the top. Council drives. Floater, no good. Front iron. Mitchell controls for St. John's. St. John's up 7. Sonnen, pump fake 3 in the corner. Drives. Ejiofor, offensive rebound. He goes up and he's fouled again. This guy's a monster. And he looks in the crowd and screams like, you can't guard me. 39 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Tiller, Mbaya, Budunga, it doesn't matter. Ejiofor's going through all of them. First free throw from Zuby Ejiofor, and he misses that one. Front iron. Still 33-26. McDowell enters the game for Kansas for Trey White. Ejiofor takes a deep breath. Free throw is good. 34-26. St. John's with an 8-point lead. 39 seconds left to go in this first half. Kansas trying to mend the run here. McDowell trying to get this pass in. Having trouble. Gets it in to Jackson. He controls, guarded by Sonnen. They cross half court. Gets a screen from Tiller. Crossover. Jackson. Runner. No good. St. John's trying to take a multiple score lead here. Well, a 10-point lead. Mitchell now one-on-one versus Peterson. Crossover to the rack. Mitchell, and he's fouled. I think it was blocked out of bounds. No foul. 8 on the game clock. Crossover on Peterson. Wow. So it's going to be inbounds for St. John's. They're up 34-26. 8 seconds left to go in this first half. Ejiofor now comes back into this game for defense. Or for offense. Inbound pass for St. John's, and it's batted out of bounds by Kansas. Oh, it's actually a turnover on St. John's. Wow. It slipped out of Mitchell's hands as he's throwing the inbound pass. So Kansas catches the break there. Trying to get this last bucket before the first half. Inbound pass to Jackson. 6, 5, crossover. Jackson, Elmarco goes up. Floater is no good. And that'll do it for the first half. St. John's up 34-26. And really a game where St. John's owned that first half. Just some bad shooting performances. Kansas turned the ball over a bunch. 10 turnovers a game. They got 8 in that first half. Offensive rebounding from Ejiofor. He's controlled the paint. Really, Kansas fortunate just to be down 8 points right now. But it's going to be a tough second half. It really is. Peterson's got to get going. If Kansas wants to win this game, Peterson had 7 points in this first half. He's got to have over 20 in this second half. I mean, he's got to come alive to the point where St. John's has got to double him, and then he can get the ball out to guys like Council, Trey White, Tiller. We need a big that can actually shoot a three in the corner, and I think that's what Tiller hasn't done in this first half. So Kansas needs to put the ball in their best players' hands. I realize Council has been their point guard all season, but from what I'm seeing, just the moment is a little too big right now for Marco Jackson Council. So I need to see Peterson, a ball in his hands. We can gain some confidence if he makes some plays, but right now the defense by St. John's is just too much. You can't even get the ball in bounds. That's how good a defense they're playing. It's just tight, contested. Everything's contested. We've capitalized off of some St. John's missed shots and some of theirs as well, but I just can't see it happening in this second half. I see St. John's getting it together, and if Peterson doesn't come alive, I don't know who will for this team. We got bigs in foul trouble now. They're working the ball into Ejiofor. Can't stop him in the paint. I mean, I'm more comfortable with Mbaya, I would say. I mean, Budinga is just not strong enough to guard an Ejiofor. And I just don't think defense is Tiller's game. He's more of a shooting big man. Kansas is in trouble. This little mini run that St. John's made to end this first half is going to hurt, because now we got to be able to recover against this defense, and it's going to take more missed shots from St. John's. I think Patino knows that Mitchell is going to make some plays to the hoop, but Kansas knows that, and he's a liability as a shooter, so he's kind of gotten them off the floor. He's went to this European guy. I can't pronounce his last name, but he's on the floor right now with Darling. Those guys are shooters, so they're surrounding Ejiofor with shooters right now. Mitchell, I keep calling him Mitchell. It's Hopkins. Hopkins is their guy that is going to space the floor. They're really their closer option, someone that can shoot off the dribble. You saw what he did to Peterson, the crossover on him at the end of the first half. So he's going to be dangerous. Really, everyone that St. John's is throwing out, they got 8 guys right now. Sonnen, Jackson, Prey, Sellers, Mitchell, Darling, Ejiofor, Hopkins. And the only guy that I really don't fear at all is Sellers and Darling. But everyone else, when they get the basketball, they're a threat to go off the dribble, hit a corner three or wing three wide open. And on Kansas, there's nobody that, besides Peterson, maybe Council when he drives to the hoop, but he's got no shot that I've seen. Yeah, man, Kansas is in trouble. And they brought in McDowell, and he's kept our Marco Jackson in, who's made some boneheaded mistakes in this first half, a missed dunk, a couple turnovers himself. It's not looking good. But, Bill Self has been in these situations before. Kansas has been down in the tournament. He knows how to coach these teams, knows how to kind of get the edge off of them. Right now they're kind of thinking about losing this game, but Bill Self, he can get them back. He can motivate them and make this like a 0-0 game. So I hope that's what Kansas does when they come out in this first half. They got to shoot the ball better. It starts with Peterson, but St. John's has been playing amazing defense, and we talked about it right before the first half ended. Kansas, every single time they got to inbound the basketball, St. John's is putting a bigger guy right on the basketball. So Kansas not only has to get it over that length, then they have to go around length. They have to go over length from the guy that they're passing it to. So St. John's, some of the best defense that I've seen. Well, I haven't watched a lot of basketball. I mean, mostly it's been NBA, but some of the best, probably like, I'd say maybe 10 college basketball games the last 5 years. So I would say their defense is some of the best that I've seen in a while in this first half. But I'm not sure what Kansas can do. Really can't. I mean, they can drive. I'll give them that. Their defense isn't great. The turnovers definitely have to stop. If they have another 9, 10 turnover half, they're going to get blown out by 20. And obviously Trey White, he took him out of the game. He's gone with Counsell Moore. Budunga is out of this game with foul trouble. Mbaya has 3 fouls as well. I mean, there's a possibility you're going to have to put a 4 on Ejiofor. I mean, that's not Tiller's game. He's more of a driving big man that can shoot. What do we got here? Purdue 66-57 over Miami. Purdue's always been really good at basketball. Purdue versus Texas in San Jose. 11 versus 2. Nice. I think I heard Texas had lost 14 games this year and made the second round. That's insane. College football, you lose 1 game, your season's over. College basketball, you can lose 14 games, still make the tournament, and have a chance to go to be in the Sweet 16. Iowa State is in the Sweet 16. They beat Kentucky. Wow. That's right. Calipari's on Arkansas right now, right? They got Barkley on here. You can't tell me that Barkley's watched any college basketball games all year. He's exactly like me. No way. He might have saw some highlights or something like that. Like he knew who Peterson was, but no way Barkley has put any time to watch college basketball or research at all. I mean, the only research I did was actually making a cheat sheet of all these guys' names and numbers just so I know who's shooting the basketball, who has it. Second half coming up. Jayhawks down 8. 34-26. This guy Peterson's supposed to be the number 1 pick in the draft? Come on. It doesn't even look like a lottery pick to me. And I don't mean to hate on the guy. He might be a great basketball player, but it's a big moment, man. At least drive to the rack, get fouled, try to do something. He's done more passing than actually being aggressive. this guy? I don't even know what position he plays. Is he a shooting guard or a point guard? Yeah, for me, it's Peterson's play in this first half. He's got to be more aggressive. He's being a little too passive. And I really think he's taken one shot, missed that, had a couple free throws, made one. He really was aggressive early on. I'm not sure if Self had a couple set plays for him, but made his first 2 threes, and then after that went cold. I mean, it was like the next 18 minutes of the first half. Peterson only had 1 point. And I'd said for Kansas to win this game, he's going to have a 20-point second half. He's going to have to come alive. He's going to have to do some crazy things that is actually worth a top 5 draft pick. Because right now, from what I'm seeing, he's just a role player. He did make one good steal, but he didn't get the finish. The guy reached in and actually just poked it away before he could go up and finish the layup or the dunk. So, I mean, he gets one of those, that free throw, maybe a jumper. We're talking about a totally different first half here. And possibly Kansas is only down 5. Lucky to be down 8, though. Especially the way that St. John shot the basketball. Bunch of wide open missed shots from them. If Kansas has the same shots St. John's has, we're making a bunch of those. Every single shot we've had has been contested, though. And it's been well beyond the 3-point line, like a couple steps back. So we got 34-26. St. John's up 8. Shooting 29% from the field. Kansas not any better, 34%. 7 of 23 from 3. 2 of 6 for Kansas. 7 of 23. And I feel like if they would have just, a couple of those, just passed it into Okafor, easy bucket. So Peterson's got 9 points. I thought he had 7. He had 2 free throws right before the half ended. Got to be more aggressive, DP. Here we go. Second half underway. Council controls. Guarded by Darling. To Peterson. Gets a screen from Tiller. To Trey White. Guarded by Sellers. Back to Council. Trey White pump fakes a 3. Now pull up from 15. No good. Front iron. Budinga goes down and gets the rebound. Is going to be off St. John's. They're going to talk about it. It's going to be St. John's basketball. So Trey White misses the jumper for Kansas. Well off on that one. Kansas can't get the offensive board. Now Darling controls for St. John's. Crosses half court. Gets a screen from Jackson. Now Sellers with the jumper. No good. Council controls. Numbers for Kansas. Passes back out. Here's Peterson. Guarded tightly now by Hopkins. Passes down low to Budunga for the slam. 34-28. Kansas now down 6. Fast paced. Here's Mitchell now for St. John's. Passes off to Hopkins. Guarded by Budunga. Step back, crossover to Darling. Pump fake 3, guarded by Council. Back to Hopkins for 3, wing. Bang! 37-28. Red Storm take a 9-point lead. Hopkins is their closer. They get it into Peterson. Peterson now controls, takes the ball up full court. Guarded tightly by Hopkins. Gets the screen from Budunga. Passes off to Council. Budunga now top of the key. Doesn't hand off to Trey White. Now Peterson, step back jumper. Just in and out for Peterson. There you go, being a little bit more aggressive. Keep shooting, kid. Now Hopkins thinks wisely of a 3, pulls it back out. Now Hopkins, top of the 3, is no good on the 3. Council with the rebound. Guarded tightly by Darling. Back to Budunga. Gets a screen from him. Takes Darling off the dribble. Council layup. God! 37-30. Kansas down 7. Taking advantage of Darling off the dribble. Passes to Jackson. Back to Hopkins. Hopkins to Ejiofor. Ejiofor trying to work the back door. Darling. 3 ball. No good. Back iron. Rebound Council. Kansas. The speed. The runner to the hoop. And he's fouled. There you go. What I'm asking. Be more aggressive. Melvin Council going to the line for 2. Got to make these free throws, make it a 5-point game. Kansas down 37-30, 17-26 left to go in this game. First free throw for Council is good. 9 wins for Bill Self when trailing at the half in the NCAA tournament. Most by any coach in the nation right now. He's been here before. Council's second free throw is good. Kansas now down 5. Playing a little full court press themselves. St. John's gets it in. Jackson now controls. Guarded by Trey White. To Hopkins, wing 3. Guarded by Teller. Back to Ejiofor, top of the key. To Sellers, guarded by DP. They double Sellers. Back to Ejiofor. They leave him open for 3. Pump fake. Now Darling. Takes Teller off the dribble. Almost throws it away to Jackson. Hopkins. 1 on the shot clock. Got to get rid of it. And it's a shot clock violation. Great defense by Kansas. They force the turnover. And Rick Pitino is head down as he walks back to the bench and looking for options. Suffocating defense from the Jayhawks. Oh, and Kansas turns it over. Trey White. So after a great play, a defensive play by Kansas, Kansas turns it over on the inbound, and it's been like that the whole game. Gives the Red Storm the ball back. Here's Sonnen now. Jackson off a screen. He thought he was fouled. Air ball. It's going to be Kansas basketball. Bill Self screaming on this inbounds possession. Wants to get it right. Kansas sends its whole team down. Teller, the big man's going to inbound. Kansas desperate right there. They sent their whole team down for the inbounds. Here's Peterson. Got to be more aggressive. The top pick in the NBA draft. Passes off to Budunga. Gets Sellers now. He drives. Passes back out. Trey White in the corner. No good on the 3. St. John's controls. Good effort by Budunga. He dives for the ball. Oh, what a drive! Look like Kyrie Irving on the Euro step by Jackson. My goodness! With the dribble drive by St. John's right there. Budunga. St. John's now goes up 7. Here, Council off his foot, and it's out of bounds, St. John's. Another turnover for Kansas. Bill Self can only look on. There's nothing he can do. Nobody can put in the game. It's turnover city for Kansas. My goodness. What a move from Jackson. St. John's up 39-32. Mitchell now controls to Ejiofor. They play off of him, top of the key to Hopkins. Guarded by Tiller. Pump fake. Off the dribble. Hopkins. Strong move. No good. Good defense by Tiller. Council controls. Now Kansas down 7. Splits 2 St. John's defenders. Budunga now top of the key to Peterson. Step back. 3 ball. Peterson. Bang! Come on, DP! Get going, baby! Holy water for Darren Peterson. 39-35. Kansas down 4. Peterson now with 12 points trying to get going. Hopkins now controls for St. John's. Playing off Ejiofor. Pump fake. He drives. Ejiofor. Good! Scoop to the hoop. St. John's now goes back up 6. Nothing you can do about that. As soon as Budunga got his feet up, Ejiofor went to the rack. Kansas again having a hard time getting this ball inbounds. Down 6, 41-35. Just under 15 minutes left to go in this one. Peterson off a screen. 3 ball wing. No good. Front iron. DP be more aggressive. Got to keep shooting though. Here's Mitchell. Drives. 3 ball in the corner. Mitchell. Hopkins passes back out to Jackson. Bang. Top of the key. St. John's goes up 9. 44-35. Bill Self letting them play on. Here's Council now. Takes it up full court. Guarded by Jackson. Backs out of a screen. Now Council drives. Throws it up. Budunga with the floater is good. 44-37. Kansas now down 30. Down 7. 14:08 left to go second quarter. Mitchell now to Ejiofor. Top of the key. Handoff now to Hopkins. Gets a screen on Trey White. They play off Mitchell in that corner 3. Now Hopkins guarded tightly by Teller. Now to Ejiofor in the post. Mismatch to Hopkins. Wide open 3 ball. Bang! St. John's goes up 10. 47-37. Bill Self electing them to let them play on. No timeout. Council now off a screen from Trey White. He drives and turns it over. It's going to be St. John's basketball. Should have called timeout. 47-37. St. John's up 10. I think St. John's has really found their groove right now. You get the ball inside out. You work inside out rather than shooting those jumpers. Work the shot clock, pass it around, get it into Ejiofor, and let him pass out of it as soon as they double team. And then that's when what's getting these wide open shots for St. John's. One thing I'll give Peterson credit, though, he's been more aggressive in the second half. Made a 3, missed a jumper, another 3, but it's exactly what we got to do to get back in the game. Kansas' biggest deficit tonight, 47-37, they're down 10. if I'm St. John's, this ball's got to touch Ejiofor's hands every single possession, and good things are going to happen. Kansas bigs are in foul trouble, so and Ejiofor knows that. If they continue to play off of him at the three-point line, he's going to take these guys off the dribble. And he's not in foul trouble, so there's really no chance of Ejiofor coming out of this game. All right, we got just under 14 minutes left to go in this one. Kansas down 47-37. Mitchell controls, guarded by Peterson to Ejiofor. Guard him a little bit more tightly, guarded by Mbaya. Shot by St. John's, no good, but out of bounds. It's tipped, last tip by Ejiofor, like it came off of Kansas. Ooh, oh, okay. Ejiofor tipped it out. Got his hand on it last. Yeah, Ejiofor is the one that swiped that out of bounds. That's going to be Kansas basketball. They're down 10. We're taking another look at it right now. Just seeing it live, it looked like Ejiofor, Mbaya had his hand on it, and he was about to grab it for the rebound. And Ejiofor just swiped down, and that's when it went out of bounds. And usually the guy that swipes at it and knocks it out of bounds, they usually give it to the other team. But we'll see. I mean, when they slow it down, you never know. Mbaya could have his hands on it last. I mean, the way that this game is going, it wouldn't surprise me if it's still St. John's basketball. I mean, the only thing we got in this second half is Council driving to the rim in a Peterson three. Even when we went to the half, tried to make adjustments and talk about what's happened. I just don't think Kansas, the Jayhawks, have the personnel to stop an Ejiofor, to stop a Hopkins. I mean, just St. John's has better players than us, to be honest with you. I mean, Peterson is the only guy for us that I see that could take over. Really, everyone else, Council has good speed on that point guard position, but not much explosiveness that we have. Just seeing what Bill Self could do. He's got Mbaya in, Peterson, Tiller, Council. Who could give us a spark? I don't think it's McDowell. Jackson had his chance. The only guy that could do it would be Trey White. So St. John's loses the challenge. Ball goes off last, Ejiofor's hands. Kansas having a tough time in basketball again. Now gets it to Council. 13-15 left to go in this ball game. The Jayhawks down 10 to St. John's. And Mbaya now top of the key. Dribble handoff to Peterson, and looks like a foul off the ball. They held Peterson as he was trying to get it. So just fouls in this half for St. John's. Inbound pass for Kansas. Peterson controls in the half court. Dribble drive, hands it back off to Council. Mbaya, top of the key. Trying to get it to Peterson, guarded by Hopkins. Dribble drive, crossover to the rack, and he's held. Foul before the shot on Hopkins. So 2 fouls in a row for St. John's. Kansas inbounds it again. Tennessee up 36-31 over Virginia. Peterson now in the corner, crossover, fadeaway jumper, no good, front iron. St. John's controls. Peterson now 1 for 4 in this second half. Jackson now to Sonnen, corner 3, no good. Kansas rebounds. Elmarco Jackson back in this ball game for the Jayhawks. Comes off an Mbaya screen. The Council. Dribble drive, Mbaya in traffic, gotta go up. And it's no good, but he's fouled. I think he got hit on the face right there. It's going to be a foul on Ejiofor. So 3 fouls quickly for St. John's. This is going to get Kansas closer to that bonus. No fouls in this half for Kansas. 12:23 left to go in this second half. Free throw from Mbaya. He banks it home. Let's go. Man just banked a free throw. Oh, he made that one. The chances of making this one aren't great, are they? Kansas down 9, 47-38. And Mbaya's second free throw, no good. Back iron. No way he was making that one. After the way that first one looked. The bank was not open on the second one. Here's Jackson now, controls in the half court. To Hopkins now, wing 3, guarded by Budinga. They play off. Ejiofor, he goes to the rack and he's blocked. And by Mbaya, but they call a foul. Wow. I mean, they are giving Ejiofor about 6-7 feet to shoot. They are daring him to shoot that jumper. And he still got the foul. First free throw from Ejiofor is good. 48-38. St. John's Red Storm looking for their biggest lead. Trying to go up 11. Ejiofor with 12 points, 3 of 7 from the floor. 8 rebounds. Second free throw is no good, front iron. Kansas with the rebound. It's DP to Council. Working quickly, back to Peterson. Top of the key, he drives. Peterson now passes it back out, almost stolen by Jackson. Council controls, 16 on the clock. Dribble drive on Hopkins, passes back out to Jackson. Jackson now dribbles out for Kansas. He drives on Hopkins and he throws it away. Turnover on Kansas. Bill Self can barely look on, hands over his face. I've never seen him this frustrated in a game. Usually he's calm, cool, and collective. Maybe he'll scream at a player or two. But I've never seen him have that reaction. It was almost a fan's reaction on that turnover. He had his hands over his face. I think he knows exactly what's coming. And I do too. I mean, we just don't have the personnel. We can't match up on Mitchell. We can't match up on Ejiofor. We have match up on Hopkins and Ejiofor. Then everybody else is just playing off of him. And Jackson's having a really good game as well. 6 man for him. Our only hope is that we're close to the bonus. In 4 fouls for St. John's. Get Ejiofor out of this game. That would be the only way we can get a run in. We just slow this game up, get to the free throw line. You know, Marco Jackson was the wrong guy to put in this game. You got to get him out after these turnovers, some bad ones in that first half. I don't care. Just try McDowell. See what McDowell could do. And you tell McDowell, hey, if you get this basketball, put it up. We just need a spark. Just something to spark us and even get Peterson going. They're talking to Peterson right before this half starts, and he's like, it doesn't even seem like he's got a care in the world. Right now, I give Kansas about a 20% chance to come back in this game. What's going to save him is St. John's might be in foul trouble in the second half. Kansas might live this last 10 minutes at the free throw line. One foul on Kansas, 4 team fouls on St. John's. Here's Jackson now, controls to Sonnen. Pump fake on a 3, now to Mitchell. Dribble handoff, now Sonnen, 3-ball wing, air ball. Throws it off Hopkins, throws it off a Kansas player, Budinga. Great play by him, IQ play by Hopkins. Ball's going out of bounds, he throws it off at Budinga's foot. Nothing can go right. Here's Sonnen now off a prey screen. Dribbles out. Handoff from Mitchell. Sonnen now off a drive. Peterson. Runner blocked by Peterson. Kansas with numbers. They're down 10. 48-38. Crossover from Peterson. He backs it out. Guarded by Prey. To Council. Takes Jackson off the dribble. Gets the switch on Hopkins. To Budinga. To Peterson. 11 on the clock. 3-ball Peterson. No good. Front iron. 1 of 5 in the second half for DP. This could be his last 10 minutes in a Kansas Jayhawks uniform. Jackson drives. Runner too strong. 50-38. St. John's goes up 12. Here's Council now on a crossover behind his back. Goes into the paint. Passes back out to DP. Crossover. Drive. Runner. And he's got it. Thought he was fouled, but he didn't get it. Peterson answers and makes it 50-40. Jayhawks now down 10. 14 points for Darren Peterson. Prey top of the key to Jackson coming off a screen. Gets a switch on Budinga. Now on Council. Jackson to Hopkins. Pump fake. Drive. Fadeaway. Jumper. No good. Rebound Kansas, and I think we got a foul under the basket on Prey. This is going to be 5 fouls now on St. John's. Are we at the free throw line? Not a great guy to foul, but still with 10 minutes left to go in the second half, you can get in the bonus. Okay, so one more foul and we're in the bonus. Kansas trying to get this ball in bounce. Oh my God, and it's off their foot. Another turnover. My goodness. Kansas trying all their options on their bench right now. They got a guy I didn't even pencil in to play this game. We'll just call him White Dude. Wow, another turnover. Now St. John's controls its darling to Mitchell. He drives Mitchell to the rack, and it's good. Shit, all second half he's been passing it on dribble drives. Now he drives to the rack on that one, and Kansas is fooled. 9:30 left to go in this second half. 52-40, Kansas down 12. Here's McDowell, drives, almost gets it stolen away, controls at the wing three. Budinga now drives on Prey, tries to go up, and it's no good. Gets his own rebound, tries to pass it to Tiller, and it's turned over again. 15 turnovers for Kansas. Wow. Mitchell now to Hopkins, wing three, to Prey, right at the free throw line, back to Darling. Gets a switch on Budinga. Now Mitchell drives, floater, good! 2 straight layups for Mitchell. And he's fired up. We got a timeout from Bill Self. St. John's goes up 14. 8:51 left to go in this second half. It's disappointing, man. The only game that I watch him all year. Not even much of a fan anymore. Well, I'm glad they lost in the Sweet Six, or going to the Sweet 16, and at least not going for the Final Four. Final Four would have hurt. Last year was a first round exit, I want to say. This year it's a second round exit. I don't think Bill Self's job's in jeopardy. He's going to be there as long as he wants to be. But, yeah, I mean, this one's on. I mean, Peterson, he shot the ball in the second half. At least he didn't, run away from this game. Still, he's got to shoot it better. The whole Kansas team's got to play better, honestly. Here's Trey White now to inbound to Peterson. See what you got, superstar. Dude, down 14. Need you, buddy. 8:45 left to go in this ball game. Peterson crossover. Bigger guy on Mitchell guarding him. Now Council. Corner three, Trey White. He dribbles out of it. Guarded by Prey. Throws it down to Budinga. Layup is good. So a nice play right there from Kansas. Makes it a 12-point lead for St. John's. Darling controls in the full court. To Mitchell. To Hopkins. Now to Sonnen. Gets a screen from Prey. Now Sonnen drives, picks up his dribble. Mitchell now to Prey in the paint. And runner is good, and he's fouled. And one for Prey. 56-42. St. John's up 14, trying to make it a 15-point game. Budinga's now got 4 fouls, I want to say. Ruben Prey, 5 points, 2 of 2 from the field. Free throw is no good. And Kansas is fouled, looks like over the back on Mitchell. It's going to be the 16th foul on St. John's. Lost to Arkansas last year. Lost to Arkansas in 2023. Now down 14 to St. John's. 8 minutes left to go in this ball game. Kansas, desperate, needs to do something on offense. Council now takes Darling off the dribble. He's got to pick it up. Now throws in the corner. Kansas three. Bang! Let's go! White boy with that three. Little spark, maybe, for Kansas they needed. 56-45. Here's Darling now in the half court to Prey. Handoff now to Sonnen. To Mitchell. They double team him. Guarded tightly by Peterson. Peterson waves off the double team. Now throws it to Darling. To Ejiofor in the post. Ejiofor, baby hook. Runner good. Lead back up to 13 for St. John's. 58-45. 7:16 left to go in this second half. Peterson now drives to the rack. No good, but he's fouled. 58-45. Peterson trying to make it an 11-point game. I'm not feeling good about it. Like I said, we're going to need some more threes in the corner from that white guy. Peterson's got to make a shot. I mean, eventually you gotta try to settle for a three here, and we're gonna live or die with Darren Peterson's performance today. I mean, his draft stock rose in the regular season. I mean, but this is where you make your money in the tournament. This is where you submit, your legacy that you're gonna be a hell of an NBA player in the biggest moments, and I'm just not seeing it today from him. Now he might be a hell of a player in the NBA, but I just don't like what I see in big moments. Now they might have gotten to his ear about possibly playing, a little aggressive in the second half, but the whole Kansas team, besides Council, hasn't been aggressive at all in this game. I mean, Council's the only thing that we've had from him has been his drive to the basket, his full court drive. He's just been the fastest guy on the floor. I mean, the big thing as well, something that I haven't mentioned, is that Kansas has 15, 16 turnovers in this game. It's just amazing that they were able to keep it close early on. It kind of felt like St. John's was running away with it right before that first half ended and just never looked back. 16 points off turnovers for St. John's, 3 for Kansas. I mean, he misses the free throw right there. Wow. Gotta be kidding me, man. Still a 13-point lead for St. John's. Darling now controls the prey on the handoff to Hopkins. To Sonnen, guarded tightly by Peterson. St. John's 7 minutes away from the Sweet 16. Here's Darling now. Passes back to Hopkins. Pump fake on a wing three. Now he drives on White Boy. Back out to Ejiofor. Three ball is no good. And Prey goes down. No foul. Kansas controls. They're down 13. Here's Trey White on the drive. To Council. Three ball top of the key. Bang! There you go, Melvin. 10-point game. 58-48. 6:20 left to go. Here's Darling now. Controls for St. John's to Ejiofor. They play off of him at the three. Sonnen now. To Darling. Corner three ball. Blocked by Kansas. Trey White controls. It's Peterson. Crossover. Showtime. Peterson! And he's fouled. Peterson to the line, trying to make this an 8-point game. Kansas was trailing by 14, trying to get this back to single digits. Peterson, the top 5 projected pick. First free throw is good. (58-49). Second free throw from DP is good. 58-50. Kansas now on a little mini run. Peterson guards Hopkins tightly. Hands off now to Jackson. Ejiofor. They play off of him. Can't drive. Now to Jackson. St. John's playing the merry-go-round. Jackson crossover to the rack. No good. Offensive board, no good. Peterson controls for Kansas. Ejiofor couldn't get to it. Mismatch. Ejiofor on Peterson. Mouse up in the house. Peterson drives. Layup. God! And he's fouled. DP taking over. Kansas can make it a 5-point game. We got a timeout on the floor. 58-52. Kansas clawing back in this basketball game. Can make it a 5-point game. Darren Peterson on the line. Fuck, man, I didn't get back in time. Shit. He missed the free throw, too. No, he made it, actually. St. John's got a bucket. 60-53. Turnover, Kansas. Shit. Jackson drives, numbers, blocked, out of bounds, use basketball. He's fouled. Damn it. Playing great defense on the edge before he gets the ball back and then goes to the rack, gets the bucket. Damn it. Peterson stripped. Ejiofor, great defense on him. Unreal. How does a center strip you, DP? Fuck! Mitchell now controls for St. John's to Ejiofor now. He drives him on Bodinga, spin move to the rack. Good. Man. You had a little hope right there. A mini run from Kansas. Now a 5-0 run from St. John's. 62-53. Kansas still down 9. Council drives to the rack. Good. 62-55. Just under 4 minutes left to go in this game. Mitchell controls in the half court now for St. John's. To Ejiofor, guarded by Bodinga. Jackson comes off a screen. They double him. Mitchell now drives to the rack. He's dangerous. He throws it out of bounds. It's Kansas ball. Let's go. Come on. St. John's turns it over. Kansas now only down 7. They were down 14 about 5 minutes to go in this game. St. John's the 5 seed. Kansas the 4 seed. Winner moves on to the Sweet 16. Gonna see what's gonna happen. I got a feeling St. John's is going to full court press on this possession. If we can get Council to the rack like he has been doing, just get easy buckets like that. Because that's something St. John's doesn't have, is the ability to go full court like that with a player like Melvin Council. And if they full court on this inbounds, and if Council can break free, yeah, just take the easy bucket. Make this a 5-point game. So Kansas is shooting free throws for every foul. I don't think... Yeah, Kansas is in the bonus right now. They only have 2 team fouls. That's a really good sign. Down 7. St. John's backs out. They don't press. Council now controls in the half court. Trying to get the ball to Trey White. Gets it to Budinga. Tries to backdoor him with Peterson. It's not there. Passes it back out to Melvin Council. Goes off the dribble on Ejiofor. Passes back out to Trey White. He drives. White. Hesitation move. Under the basket! What a layup by Trey White! Makes it a 5-point game. Up and under move. Look like Julius Erving. 62-57. Ejiofor controls top of the key. Stolen away! Is it off of St. John's? What's going on here? That should be backcourt. Turnover, baby. Let's go! Come on! Jayhawks basketball. What a job by Melvin Council right there. Just get your hand on it. Creates for Kansas. Gets the turnover for St. John's. Somehow, some way, Kansas can make this a one-possession game. Here's Trey White to Council in the corner. Here's Peterson. Step back 3. Back corner, no good. White boy rebound. Good. Who said White boy can't jump? Let's go. One possession lead for St. John's. 62-59. Somehow, some way, Kansas only down 3. Here's Ejiofor, top of the key. They play off of him. Jackson. They double him. He backs out to Ejiofor. Doesn't hand off Ejiofor. Try block by Budinga. Kansas controls. They can tie this game. Ingram drives. Floater. No good. It's loose on the floor. They're diving for it. Kansas controls. It's Peterson. Rises. 3 ball. No good. But it's tipped Budinga. 1-point game. 62-61. Just under 2 minutes. Timeout on the floor. What a ball game. The heart by Kansas to come back in this game. They've turned the ball over a bunch. There's no way they should be in it down 1. Incredible last 6 minutes by Kansas. I mean, they were just down 14. Cut it to 8. Got it to 5 on a Peterson free throw. Then Ejiofor made it. Got his own rebound somehow. And then drove, got a layup. They got a bucket. They were down 9. Cut it to 1. Kansas really nothing to lose right here for how poorly they played in this game. They're just happy to be here. The guy for me is Hopkins. He's your one-on-one guy for St. John's. You're going to put your best defender on him. Obviously, Peterson. It's the matchup we're going to see down the stretch. Hopkins versus Peterson. And something tells me that Peterson's going to get the love from the officials more than Hopkins. Man, he just missed a couple threes right there from the wing three. We got 62-61. Red Storm up 1. 1:56 left to go in this ball game. In San Diego for the Sweet 16. Number 5 seed St. John's versus the number 4 seed Kansas. A lot of chalk early on in this tournament. St. John's inbounds it. Full court press from Kansas. Darling now controls in the half court for St. John's. Now St. John's wants to get their play set. Gets it to Hopkins. Guarded by Peterson. Here's the matchup we want to see. Hopkins waits patiently. Waits for Darling to come off a screen. They go back to Hopkins. Rises. 3-ball. Bang. St. John's goes up 4. 1:24 left to go in this ball game. Hopkins with the huge shot. 18 points in this ball game. Council drives. Kansas down 4. Need a bucket. Passes back out to Trey White. 1:09 left to go in this game. He drives. Trey White. Floater. No good. Back to Trey White. Layup is good. I don't know how that happened. Fell right in Kansas's hands. 65-63. Double Darling. Ejiofor wide open. He passes it back out. Now to Mitchell. Actually, to Sellers. Now to Darling. St. John's chipping clock. 38 seconds left to go in this game. Mitchell, corner 3. Passes back out. Ejiofor. Big 3. Front iron. No good. Kansas controls. 30 seconds left to go. Council. Is he going to call timeout? Self's going to let him play on. 24 seconds left, and he calls timeout. Kansas is going to have the last shot of this game. For as much turnovers as they've had, bad shots, nobody really stepping up besides Peterson. I mean, he's even had a bad game. I mean, it's just incredible how they're still in this game, and it's the missed shots by St. John's. They got to be shooting it under 35% in this game. And finally, Kansas gets a second chance opportunity. March Madness, baby. What's going to happen? No Cinderella story here. A lot of people pick these teams to go to the Final Four. Historic colleges. Paul Pierce. I mean, a lot of greats went to Kansas. Roy Williams coached there for a long time. Chris Mullen went to St. John's. I want to say Ron Artest went to St. John's as well. I'm trying to think of some more players that went there, but more so back in the day, they were a powerhouse. Really, Pitino, I mean, he's created a good program there. He's bounced back. I remember at one time, nobody wanted that guy as the coach. Here we go for the Sweet 16. 25 seconds left to go in this ball game. Council. Trey White passes back out to Council. DP's got it in his hands. Guarded tightly by Sellers. Peterson waits patiently. Comes off a screen. Throws it up. A lob, and he's fouled. Not sure he was shooting that basketball. I think it was a set play to Budinga. Peterson's fouled. He's going to go to the line, try to tie this ball game up for Kansas. Really, they've been down this whole game. Going back to that Trey White shot, he airballs it, comes right back to him, and he lays it up. Big free throws from Peterson. First one is good. 65-64. 14 seconds left to go in this game. That White dudes came up huge with a couple shots for Kansas. Second free throw for Peterson is good. Tie ball game at 65. Somehow, some way, Kansas is in this. And looks like a quick foul right there. Maybe they had a foul to give. So they foul right on the inbound. Trying to get this steal for Kansas. They get it in to Ejiofor. And he's fouled right away by Trey White. I'm not sure this is some type of strategy here for Bill Self. 11 seconds left to go in the second half. Couple fouls to give for Kansas. St. John's not at the free throw line. They got to inbound it again. They get it to Darling. Last shot here for St. John's. And he's fouled again. 6 seconds left to go in this ball game. Got to think this ball is going to be in Ejiofor's hands or Hopkins' hands. Hit the big shot to make him go up 4. What I'm watching for is Hopkins to pass it on this inbounds and then sprint and then get open on this 3. Okay, there's Hopkins right there. He's going to the corner. Darling fouled again. So Kansas had like 4 fouls to give before the free throws. They end up wasting about 10 seconds off the clock. Hopkins now inbounds. They can't foul now. Darling drives for the Sweet 16 floater. God! He's going to send St. John's to the Sweet 16. Wow, Darling. A guy nobody expected. Kansas does all they can and fights back. Ties this ball game up at 65. Darling stuns him. 67-65. Kansas fans are shocked. Wow. How does that white dude get off the dribble like that? He had 4 seconds left. 2 dribbles right to the rack, layup. That's all she wrote. Darling rips the heart out of Kansas Jayhawks fans. Layup at the buzzer. Man, Budinga didn't even jump. Come on, buddy. At least jump up and try to swat that shit. Man, one less turnover. Yeah, like 17 turnovers. One less turnover, we win this game. Nobody expected this guy, Darling, this lefty off the dribble. Goes to his right. Shocker. St. John's 67-65. They're moving on to the Sweet 16. My one and only Kansas game a year ends in a loss again. Last year, they lost to Arkansas. This year, they lose to St. John's, but it was a lot better fight. They're going to lose Peterson. Probably have Council back. Budinga and Bayer are pretty solid. Elmarco Jackson, he had some bad turnovers today. Tiller's got to play better. Trey White's got to play better, but the Jayhawks will most likely be back in the tournament next year, and I'll be watching my one game again. Guys, St. John's moves on to the Sweet 16. Much deserved. Not even sure how Kansas was even in this game late, but they played tremendous today. They just missed some shots. They played really good defense. But St. John's moves on. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.